Hi, Pearce. Welcome to your reading. I pulled some cards already just to kind of get my head around the story of what's going on, and also just save you the time of me shuffling through a million decks because I've got a lot going on here. So the first card that I pulled out for you was Patience. So you may or may not be aware of this, but there's something going on in your life that's requiring a lot of patience to reach the finish line, or if you are nearly there, just being a bit more patient as you kind of move towards your goal. Some of the other cards that supported this energy was from this Rose Oracle. It's from, hard to get it to focus, but the Bud, potential, it's happening, keep going. And I just wanted to read this one because I thought it was nice. A bud is an embryonic swelling on the stem of the rose that has potential to develop into a flower, leaf, or shoot. In temperate climates, plants form resting buds that are resistant to the brutal frost. The bud is the promise of what's to come. It's the physical manifestation of the seeds that we've been holding deep in the earth, nurturing and dreaming through the fertile void of winter. Now we find ourselves in the inner season, spring, and the bud is beginning to realize what it always was destined to be, but it still requires tending in order to bloom one day soon. This is a card of encouragement, potential, excitement, and hope. It invites you to keep facing your true north and to show up for what you've been called to create. Your effort has not gone unnoticed. Keep going. Someday soon you'll begin to see this beautiful creation in the world. The bud is connecting with spring, the time of the upward energy. Life is bursting on through. You may be seeing the first signs that things are beginning to come together. If you've been working on a project or if you've been dedicating yourself to ushering in some change in your life, you're being called to keep going and trust that what you've been working towards is happening. Keep tending your garden, and before long, the bud will begin to unfold and bloom. What new buds are beckoning to bloom within you? So again, kind of speaking to the patience that slow and steady, but it's coming along. Let's here. Did I get this one here? I don't usually read from books so much, but I thought these ones were appropriate. Okay, so I also got the Hunter. The Hunter is about kind of being very direct in your focus, kind of head down, searching on the hunt for something, not really letting other distractions kind of come in the way of what it is that you're hunting for and that you're kind of set out to achieve. There's not a lot of room for too much like creativity or flexibility. It's very much about like hunt the animal, get the food, like, you know, being very sure-footed in your actions and your steps towards this on this journey of hunting this animal. I also got the Merchant, which is about self-worth and trade. So whenever we make a choice in life and we make a trade, we are inherently judging our self-worth. When we allow something to take place in our life, or we accept something that somebody has done, it inherently is kind of a judgment of our own self-worth and what we deserve. So maybe not fully kind of keeping your head down too much, but also considering the balance and the effects of how every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And when something goes wrong, you do your best to kind of remediate the situation, and if someone has wronged, to forgive the parties and to move forward. But there is also a transaction taking place in terms of what you deserve if you've been treated in a way that's not appropriate according to your viewpoints, that what is it that you're giving up in order to accept this kind of treatment, or vice versa. It could be the other way around too. But yeah, it's always something to think about, the trade being taking place, that nothing is without cost and nothing is without an equal and opposite reaction on the other end of things. So just being sure to make sure that you don't accept less than what you deserve and what you believe to be, um, the 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 upstanding thing to do according to your values, and not sacrificing your values for um, another person, or um, another person's ideas or behaviors, and just staying really true to that, because it does affect how you see your own self-worth at the end of the day, with what you accept and what you um, where you draw your boundaries. Without boundaries, we lose our self-worth, and it's important to have boundaries to kind of draw up a line in the sand of, this is what I am okay with and this is what I am not okay with, and being very clear about that, and not having these kind of backdoor trades happening between your self-worth and your how you view yourself and other people's behavior, and just making sure that that's very upfront and in your mind, even, of just what transaction is taking place with how other people are acting and how you're acting, and whether you feel valued. Okay, what else? Okay, yeah, so the second part here, I was kind of getting to this message here. So we have the Mother Rose. Returning to each other, compassion. A sacred symbol of the feminine, the rose has been here much longer than us. In ancient garlands of roses were placed in statues of mother goddesses in worship of her. We're all her children. She connects and unites us all. If we trace her roots back far enough, maybe we'll find our way back to each other. We're living in a time of great division, learning and unlearning. We're together mending this thread of humanity. This is a card of returning to union by facing what's been broken, separated, and severed, to realize that we're all human, and while harm has been done, what's needed now is for us to acknowledge what's happened, to endeavor to find a way to return to each other, to realize that it's possible for two people to have different experience at the same time, and both can be true. Mother Rose longs for humanity to drop our defenses and reach out to each other with deep honesty and compassion, to face and untangle the sadness, anger, and hurt from our hearts with the help of her grace, to dig our roots deep until we find common ground. Which relationships are difficult for you now? Who has hurt you? How can you soften and express your truth without being defensive? How can you open yourself up to the possibility that two truths can exist at once? Mother Rose, please show us how to find our way back to the earth and to each other. Please help me acknowledge what's difficult for me, and may my heart be filled with compassion for all. It's beautiful. And then here, so I also got nourishment with the antelope and wheat. And I thought this one was interesting because similar to the hunter who's, hunting for his nourishment, but also differently from the hunter. The antelope is associated with community. Traveling in large herds, they work together to detect predators, locate food, and care for young and old. This way, the group supports the thriving of each individual. Likewise, golden sheaves of wheat are ancient symbols of prosperity, a relatively easy grain to store, convert to flour, and a stable crop around the world. Wheat is closely associated with wealth and abundance. Together, the antelope and the wheat call us to nourish ourselves and our communities. You are being fulfilled, nourished, and secure. Celebrate your good fortune by sharing it with others in need. Invest in your community and ensure you are supported in leaner times. So there is this push here towards, sharing with the community and finding common ground and, finding forgiveness for the common man or for, people who may have harmed you, and kind of breaking bread with those people potentially, or maybe it's vice versa. It could be on the other side towards you as well. And just, kind of taking the higher road and being mature, and, even if someone has done you wrong, turning the other cheek and still being kind to them and showing compassion. The other card I got was the house cat. Choices, the easy way out, rewinding. A common friend in the pet world, the house cat is one of the few domesticated animals that can turn feral at any moment, then back again, if so chooses. That same dichotomy is present within this card. In a reading, the house cat asks about the decisions we're making and whether they're in alignment with what we truly want, believe, or need. As humans, we are prone to taking the path of least resistance, the comfortable, familiar path. But just because something is comfortable doesn't mean it's good. The time to get honest with yourself. Are you moving toward growth, toward your desires, towards your needs? Or are you staying sedentary and complacent because at least you know what to expect? Think of the feral cat. Think of the feral cat, the feral nature a cat never loses. There's a part of you that is also begging to be free, to be wild, to embrace the risk of trying something new. It's highly likely this is the truest version of yourself. Let that part out of the house. People often talk about the process of rewilding. But what does it mean? In the process of dismantling all the expectations and pressures imposed upon us by society, by others, very often our own selves. Through rewilding, we return to our rawest, most natural selves. Where were you before they told you what you needed to be? The hunter. Okay. I can't quite pinpoint where the challenges are coming from in this situation, but I can sense there's some conflict and some healing that still needs to take place here. And just remember to have patience. As we started with the bud, there is a new beginning happening here, and it just takes some patience, I think, with one another and compassion to really navigate this situation. The reason I believe there to be so much conflict is the cards that I received from the tarot. We have the Four of Cups, the King of Wands, and the King of Pentacles, and they're all in reverse. So these are some very difficult energies. The Four of Cups can typically mean just kind of apathy, feeling uninspired, feeling just unexcited about life, feeling a little bit pessimistic and down. The King of Wands can be anywhere from kind of reckless to tyrannical to just lacking compassion, lacking a sense of like justice and fairness and kindness at times, can be very like macho kind of energy. And it doesn't have to be all of those things, those are just some of the aspects of this archetype, and it can manifest in different ways. It could also be somebody struggling to kind of embody the upright King of Wands energy, which is very much like a leadership, kind of strong willed, decisive, passionate energy. There could just be a difficulty in embracing that energy rather than, all the negative sides of that. But there's a few ways to interpret that. But just going along with some of the other cards that we've received here. So the King of Pentacles as well in reverse, which is the King of Pentacles is typically, he's kind of the rich man of the tarot, who's had all this worldly success and has achieved so much and achieved so much material wealth and a lot of wisdom along with that. And he willingly shares this with others. So when it's in reverse, it can mean a bit of inability to share with others, too much focus on the material, not enough on kind of the interpersonal aspects of what it means to be the King of Pentacles. What else did it say here? I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, seeking status, obsessing over riches, potentially greed, can be some of the downfalls of the King of Pentacles. And I just find that three cards combined indicate that there's some troubling energy, some conflict for sure, that you may be dealing with. That's what's challenging you in this situation, and what some of these other cards are kind of encouraging, words of encouragement to kind of heal and navigate those kinds of difficult energies. Finally, the card I had for you at the bottom of the deck, which is kind of the underlying message, is the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, which is a beautiful card because it's a card of realization, of recognition, of having that aha moment and understanding something, having that sharp aspect of mind that just kind of gets it all of a sudden. And so there's something that's kind of coming to the surface now that you're starting to understand and kind of wrap your head around, that may help you in kind of navigating these situations and seeing what the best path is for you to patiently and gently, with kindness and compassion, finding a way to kind of navigate this situation and ensure that you're being true to yourself, and as well as providing for your community the best that you can, with what you have, and not feeling any guilt as long as your intentions are pure and you're being thoughtful and careful. I think that you have nothing to feel bad about in the end, nothing to feel guilty over, but just holding space for people who are having difficult times, and just having that compassion for them and doing what you can while maintaining your own boundaries to kind of keep your own energy protected as well. Okay, so one more. Last card I got was Explore. So explore some new, could just be generally just to explore, do something new, go traveling, go on go to a new restaurant, go to a new spot in town, and just kind of spend some time somewhere else to kind of get your mind out of the regular kind of run of the mill day in the life kind of experiences. But it could also be exploring some new concepts and new ideas. Kind of thinking more deeply about maybe some of the things that have happened in the past, and where they come from, and especially this time of year, I always think with family stuff kind of can tend to come up around now, and kind of exploring some of the ancestry around where these things come from, and how to heal them, because we don't always get the choice of like where our we inherit these things from, but it is our responsibility to heal them. And just kind of exploring some new ideas or new ways of approaching life that can help with alleviating some of these inherited challenges that we all have. That's just part of life. So anyways, I hope that helped. I hope you're having a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.